So we'll get started. I'm sure that we'll have people joining. Hi, Kim. How are you?
Hi,
Meg.
how are you?
Good. This is going to be recorded. So what we'll do is we'll get started. We'll record it. We'll share it. The goal of today is just to bring everybody up to speed with what the plans are for the day and rally everybody so that we can maximize the amount of community involvement and hopefully make it a real fun day. So I'll give everybody an update of where we are. It's an incredibly important event. It's 3 weeks from this Sunday. The day will start at 11 o'clock and the walk will start at noon. We've got a large amount of sponsors and partners that are going to be contributing to this day's event. So we're looking real forward to this year. Obviously, it's been a while since we've been in person. The last time we were in person was in 2019. And actually, we're trending from a registration and revenue standpoint, very similar to that event, which was very large. Over 1,000 people attended. And so we're looking forward to a real great day. And the reason that we do this event is much more than just the fundraising component of it, right? What APDA really is most known for is building a sense of community. And that's what our hope is on May 22nd, is to bring as many people, from the PD community and the community in general, to really rally around helping the PD community. And so we've been working really hard to put together a plan, and we think that our plan will be delivered in a great way. So the plan is we'll be at Bowditch Field. We've got a couple of events that we have this weekend that hopefully will increase our participation. We did a radio recording that will be broadcast on WBZ this Saturday. WBZ is 10:30 a.m. and also on the iHeartRadio app. Kim Cream and I, as well as our gala lead, did a little radio piece, and that will be broadcast this Saturday at 8:05. It's 8:05 because they start with about 5 minutes of the news, and then they transition to the interview. Additionally, we're going to be at the New England Revolution game this Saturday. There are tickets available, but we're going to be honored as the hero of the match this Saturday night. And so we're hoping that with those two things, that we'll be able to raise visibility about APDA, and also with that, raise the awareness of our event on May 22nd. We've been sending out emails, posting on social media. We've got flyers out there. We're expecting a very large crowd. Like most of these events in the past, the highest amount of registrations occur within the last 3 weeks. And so what we're hoping to do is raise our, visibility related to this event so that people can understand what we're trying to do, register and participate. So if you have anybody, that you know of in the PD community, or anybody that you think might be interested in helping or participating in the event, please let them know about the event on May 22nd. Our plan for the day is that we're going to have sponsors. We're going to have plenty of community partners. We'll have information for individuals related to, different drugs and different programs. What we raise from an income standpoint is vitally important to continuing to deliver our service. Much of the programs and services that are delivered in the field are, free of charge for most people. But in order for us to continue to deliver that, we need to raise money in order to do that. We additionally have, as most of you already know, a scholarship program. And so not only do we give financial aid to those individuals that need a little bit of help, but we'll also be awarding high school scholarships at this year's event, as well as we have our Sean Thornton APDA Award, which we'll be presenting at the walk this year. And so we're looking forward to that. So the event starts at 11 a.m. We'll have plenty of refreshments and pizza as we have in the past. We'll have activities. We also are planning a little bit of an auction for the event. We're gonna plan to have all of our partners there. We're planning to have fun. And again, what we're looking to try and do is just have everybody invite as many people as they can to this event so that we can enjoy the first large community event the PD community in Massachusetts has had in the last 3 years. So in saying that, what I'd like to do is introduce our honoree, Kim Cream of our walk. Kim has been involved with the APDA for a long time, and I'm sure she'll talk a little bit about that. We're very happy about honoring Kim, as well as her walk team, who has been involved with the walk for a very long time. So I'd like to hand it over to Kim Cream to just talk a little bit about her experience.
Thank you so much. And I will say that it was really, really fun recording our show together. I was a little bit nervous. I didn't know what to expect, but it was great. So I can't wait to hear it. So thank you all so much. I am really, really honored to be awarded this year's honoree. I feel very blessed to have been part of this organization over the last 30 years since my mother was diagnosed. Especially an organization that is so supportive and helps so many patients, and sometimes more importantly, their families who are suffering from Parkinson's disease and what it does to the family. So like I said, it's been over 30 years since my mother was diagnosed. And when I first found out, my first order of business was to get involved. I found my place right away with the APDA, meeting Dr. St. Hilaire, Kathy Thomas, Denise Turpin, Keith Ciccone, and of course, Chris Stapleton. And I have gone through a lot together. I decided to get involved and get on the board and learn as much as possible about the disease. And the APDA has really been a lifeboat to both me, my family, and to so many people who are suffering. It's provided so much support to so many through its classes and programs. And even to this day, it amazes me when I look at the emails and I see all of the offerings to people in the community. It's really remarkable. Over the years, my team, Carol's Crusaders, named after my mom, we've been fortunate to be one of the top fundraising groups. I feel very blessed and lucky to have a wonderful community of both family members and friends who have supported me and indirectly the APDA and its mission. Everyone in my life and who knows me and my family knows the struggle that my mom lives through every day. The symptoms, the effects, and I've been very fortunate to have this community that has helped me fundraise. It's not just me, it's the whole community. My children have been attending this walk for almost 20 years. And we as a family will continue to walk the walk, talk the talk, as well as walk the walk until we find a cure for this disease. So I thank you all. I am really blessed and honored, and I'm really looking forward to the 22nd. So thank you.
Thank you, Kim. Much appreciated for everything that you've done, and certainly deserving of this year's honoree. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next, I'd like to introduce Melissa. Melissa came on board a couple of years ago and told her story, and I'd love to hear an update on where she is now. So, Melissa, off to you.
Hi, everyone. I was honored to be here last year telling my story, and I'm honored to be here again. I just don't stop. And I guess that's what you have to do, right? You just have to keep pushing forward. And I just have met so many people through the APDA that have changed my life. And because I was so open to everything I was experiencing, it keeps bringing more and more people into my life. And it's so inspiring to listen to people like Kim, who, have a family member diagnosed with the disease, and it lights a fire. And that's what happened to me. And my outlet is music, as most of you know, probably. In the past year, I continue to write music, and my friend Wendy, who I met, she's the most inspirational person I have met through the APDA. She runs a support group, and I appear in there occasionally, and I'll either perform a song that I've been working on, or just listen or talk, because they all inspire me as well. And I actually wrote a song that I dedicated to Wendy, Together We Can Do Anything, and I just released it about 4 or 5 days ago. And it's dedicated to her, because she's the reason, and she's the reason that I have done what I've done. And the APDA is the program that she was participating in when I met her. So they really are the reason why all of this started. And she continues to do all of that. And I started a Facebook page that, and my hope is to get some of these people on these support pages that want to do music and haven't had the ability to do so. And maybe we could do something virtually or remotely. And these programs that the APDA offers musically are just brilliant, because people keep singing, doing what they love, and it helps their lung capacity. And there's just so many good things to say about it. I can't say enough. For those of us who are musical, most people like music in some way. There's always something you can do musically, even if you're not a singer or performer. But the most proud thing that I have done since writing and recording music is I joined an Irish band, which I never thought I would do in my life. I've never been in a band, and I'm just sort of figuring it out. And they're like a family. They're so supportive, and they gave me a real big chance, and I took it. And so I'm kind of, I guess you'd call, on tour with them. They're booking gigs left and right, and I'm scrambling trying to find the time, with being a mother of 2 boys that are busier than I am with lacrosse games and things like that. But it keeps me moving, and it keeps me inspired. And all of you, your fundraising and everything you're doing for all these events is so inspiring, because we'd all love to find a cure like yesterday, but in the meantime, it's really nice to have such great support systems, both family and these programs. And I just can't say enough about it. And I think that's most of my update for the past year, and I'm just grateful to be here.
Well, thank you, Melissa. Thank you. I'm glad to hear everything is going well, and thank you for your inspiration.
Thank you.
And next up is Kristen, Board President for the APDA of Massachusetts.
Oh my gosh, and I feel like you all know exactly what I'm about to say, because you just took the words from my mouth. I have been involved with the chapter since 1994, which is crazy, and a board member since 2003. I got involved originally because my mother was diagnosed with Parkinson's, and as was just heard, it lights a fire under you to do something to get involved and help and figure out how we can make a difference. And my family started a golf tournament, and then we ran that for about 13 years. And along those days, I became involved with the board, first as a board member, and then as a senior vice president. And then I've been sitting as the president for quite some time. And like Kim, our journeys have been very similar. And my children don't know a summer without planning for a golf tournament or a walk. I mean, it's just part of our life. And the thing that drew my family to the APDA was exactly as we just heard, that yeah, we all want to research, we want a cure, we want the cure yesterday, but in the meantime, you have to live with Parkinson's. And the one thing that stood out to us is that the APDA really focused on the family and the services and the support that the person living with Parkinson's disease needs right now to live a full life. And I'm just going to take a second to say, one of the things we were tasked for in the walk committee this year was to come up with 9 reasons why it was so important to participate in the walk. And that ties tightly in line with every 9 minutes someone is diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. And those 9 reasons are the joy of helping others, which is something that's very dear to my heart, to raise awareness and to support our mission of bringing programs and services and funding research, to meet inspirational people. I mean, look at the 2 speakers before me. I mean, what more do you need for inspiration? To get fresh air and vitamin D, to get involved with a compassionate community that knows what you're going through and can support you on that, and to boost your health by walking, because if you don't already know, exercise is important, not only for people with Parkinson's, but for everybody. And I'll get into that into a moment. Also at the walk, you'll receive valuable information on Parkinson's disease. And let's not forget the freebies that all of our sponsors bring out and food that's available to us. And you get to see the beautiful town of Framingham. So there you are, 9 reasons to come out and join us. Now, my mom was diagnosed and I became her caregiver, which wasn't easy. As you know, Parkinson's is progressive, so it ebbed and flowed and things changed over time. But it does kind of come consuming. And what I found as my journey, I'll say, with being the caregiver for someone with Parkinson's, is I sort of kind of lost myself in that journey. So in addition to becoming involved and meeting the most tremendous people, I also began to change my own self, in that I realized as I was caring for someone with this disease, I was starting to lose who I was. And that sort of put a light bulb in my brain, and subsequently has actually changed my life, in that I decided that this mission to help people with Parkinson's, but also the caregivers, became very important to me. So I spent a year-long journey getting myself back under control while I was caring for my mom. And it subsequently led to, once I was done with the career that I was in, I went back to school to become a health coach to help people, specifically those in the caregiver role. And I was fortunate enough to be a recipient this year of a grant from the Massachusetts chapter to bring a program to caregivers. So Parkinson's, you know, it never knows where it's going to take you, and it truly does affect the entire family. And it changes lives. It changes lives of the person living with Parkinson's, their family members, their caregivers, and it's oftentimes in a positive way. And the APDA has been nothing but positive in my experience to those living with Parkinson's and the people caring for them. So I am super excited about this year's walk. I hope you all come out. I hope you feel the sense of community and the sense of support that we try to give you. And let's do it for each other. And that's my team's name this year, is For Each Other, because we need to support each other in this journey. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you so much, Kristen. We really are inspired by all your hard work and dedication to the PD community. And we're really very much looking forward to your program for caregivers, because I think we all know that a lot of times what happens is the focus is on the individual with Parkinson's disease. And unfortunately, in many situations, the caregiver, goes in some cases, a little bit unnoticed. And there needs to be a little bit more healthy balance as it relates to caregivers, keeping healthy and staying well. And so thank you for that.
Yeah, we need to take care of ourselves so we can keep taking care of our loved ones.
Thank you. So the next portion is going to be Rosemary. Rosemary is going to cover just a couple of administrative tips from a donor drive standpoint, the fundraising application that we use. So off to Rosemary.
Thanks, Bill, and thanks to all the other speakers today, Kristen and Kim and Melissa, for sharing their really inspirational stories. I'm just going to go through some of the things that you might not know about Donor Drive. We use it every year, and every year we get questions about the basics, but today I'm going to go over a few things that maybe you don't know about Donor Drive and might be helpful when you're doing your fundraising. So I'm just going to log in here. So you just log in at the top, and here's my dashboard for the Optimism Walk. The first trick to know is make sure that this says the current year. That's really easy to miss, and if things don't look right, that might be why, as it has the wrong year. If it says the wrong year, like last year, for example, you can just click down and make sure that that's you've selected the right one. And this will only show up this way if you are currently registered for the current walk. But what I'm really going to talk about today is editing your page, because that's where you can get into some fun things and really personalize things and tell your story and give people an idea of why you're fundraising and why it's so important. So here is my page. And anywhere you see these little pencil icons, you can edit things. So I'm going to start with editing an image. I'm actually not going to change my photo, but I'm going to update my banner image. So they suggest that the size be 1440 pixels by 300 pixels. That's doesn't mean much to a lot of people, but essentially it just means you want it to be very narrow and long. So I'm going to upload a picture that I have here. And I'm going to open that. It's from a Optimism walk a few years ago, and you can resize it as you like, but I purposely made it the size that they asked for. So I'm just going to save that. And that will update. So another thing to know about this is that it may or may not update exactly right away. But if you notice that you log out and, in a few minutes, it's still the old picture, all you have to do is try waiting a few minutes first and just see if it's correct, if it updates a little later. And I see there's a message in the chat. Is that, am I talking too fast? Sorry.
No, Emily just needed to leave.
Okay, no problem. All right, so we've updated the banner image here. So that was the first thing I just wanted to show you. And then I'm going to show you how to edit your story. So here I have a story that's just the typical story that they have on Donor Drive. It'll probably look pretty familiar to you. You can choose from previous events if you'd like, but I actually wrote something new this year. So I'm going to get rid of this, and I have it typed up, and I'm going to copy and paste from another application that I wrote on Word. So I just wrote up a new story, and the only trick to this after you write your story is to make sure that you update story. You can also add photos. So if I want to add that banner image again, I can do that. But I'm going to put in a new incentive, which I'm going to show you how to do in a minute. But sometimes you can add pictures here. You can also add more by hitting this little plus button. So I'm going to show you how to do the incentive next. Update story. And all of these things are totally take what you want and not what you don't. So if any of this seems too overwhelming or just not what you want to do, don't worry about it. But this is just extra stuff that you can add for fun. So here you'll notice that it has incentives. So you can click on that little pencil there. And I'm going to say for $100, I love to knit. So I made a hand knit hat. And I have an image of that. And I'm going to say 3 because I can only knit so many. And then you can add end dates, or if you need additional information, you can put in that information here. But I'm going to hit save. And so now when people visit my page, they'll see that as an incentive that they can raise $100. If they raise $100 or give me $100, then I can send them a hand knit hat. And you can do that with anything that you want. It helps to have a little picture for folks, but you can do as much or as little as you want with that. And then another thing I just want to go over really quickly, this will probably actually be the most helpful, is donations. So you notice that, this is, to get here, I clicked on my page up here at the top. This will always be here no matter what you navigate to. So I went to my page, but this is where you can look at your donations. So that's a really helpful tip if you are trying to check and see if someone donated and and you're just not sure and you think you saw the email, but maybe you deleted it, you can click on the donations here. And the other really great thing about this is that you can also see receipts. So this is a donation I made, so it won't let me thank myself, but I can get a receipt here. And then this donor I've already thanked. And so I clicked on it and said, I thanked this person. And so it tells me that this person is thanked. But my friend Hannah just made a donation today. And so I want to send a thank you to her. So I'm going to click on send thank you. And this you can update as much as you want. For example, I'm going to say, hi, Hannah, instead of dear friend. And then you can just hit send thank you. And that just sends right to that email, that whatever she put in for her donation. And it'll also come up as thanked. So now you have that record, you both thanked the person and you have that record that you thanked them, which is really helpful. The one thing to know is this is a Facebook donor. So I cannot thank them through Donor Drive for the Facebook donors, unfortunately, because Facebook doesn't provide Donor Drive with that information. So you will have to thank those people separately, but Facebook thankfully has a lot of tools for that. You can just direct message them or thank them on your page directly, but you can mark off that you thanked them, which is a nice feature. The other thing to know is that you can download a donor report here. So this, you won't see anything when I do this on my computer because I'm sharing just this screen, but if you click on this, it'll download an Excel file with all of your donors and their information, which can be really helpful year to year. And then the last thing I'm going to go over here in this little sneak preview of the admin is the settings. So here I have my banner image. I can change my fundraising goal here. I can copy or customize my page link here. So I'm going to say Rosemary Owen. Enter. And then that can customize your page. You can also copy your Facebook fundraiser page here. You can add a stream. I'm not going to talk about that today because that's a little bit more involved, but and you can also change your privacy settings here, which is helpful. And then once you're ready, you can hit save changes and that will make those updates for you. So that's kind of a breeze through some of the different things that are available on your personal fundraising page. Does anyone have any questions or want to go over something that I didn't cover?
Thank you so much, Rosemary.
Absolutely. Let me stop share. Where is the button?
Is it down below?
It's saying share new. I just wanted to stop sharing altogether.
Yeah.
What is going on here?
Yeah, sometimes you have to minimize the screen.
There we go. There we go.
Thank you so much, Rosemary. You're I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an incentive in that I'm going to rent you out for a couple of hours. That will be my incentive. Great job.
Great tutorials.
Great tutorials. We actually had a little bit of fun last year with Rhode Island, where one of the board members had put out an incentive that he would cook steak, charcoal grill steak, for an individual that, you know, gave him the highest donation within a certain period. And it worked out pretty fun. He did a little video and we had some fun with it. So a lot of fun. Thank you so much, Rosemary. So any technical questions for Rosemary? She's incredibly helpful on the back end. She knows all of the systems front to back as it relates to all of the CRMs that we do. So any questions for Rosemary?
Well, Kim Cream wanted to know if she could knit hats for everybody for their incentives.
Yeah, thank you.
Just need a little time to work through those orders. I don't quite have Amazon quickness.
Next year's what? Next year as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
You don't have your Etsy account set up yet, Rosemary? Come
Not
on.
yet, not yet.
Well, that's a great little tool. It's almost like something you can challenge people to for donating for your team. I love that.
Yeah, and I mean, for things like baked goods or something that you could do kind of at more scale, you know, it can definitely be a great tool.
Yeah.
Thank you. So what I'd like to do is just, we were going to talk a little bit about volunteers, and I'll do that. We're certainly in need of volunteers. So if you know anybody that you think might be interested in helping us out, we'll need volunteers for the setup and during the event, help with the administrative components of delivering the event. We do have a volunteer crew that has helped us in the past, and we have a pretty good group now, but we can always use more help. We've got the Lions Club in Framingham is going to help with the snack bargain this year. We've also got some Norfolk Lions, and so if you have anybody that you think might be helpful, please let us know. And our plan is to facilitate a Zoom meeting with the volunteers between now and then so that we can start identifying responsibilities. So thank you so much. So what I'd like to do is close the meeting by just opening up, the line so that we can share any fundraising ideas that you might have for the event or any ideas in general that you might have for the event. So I'd like to open it up to anybody that would like to share any sort of ideas or feedback.
Yes, Kim.
One thing that I have found helpful in the past, and I've kind of learned from my mistakes, is sometimes I send out my email through Donor Drive too early. And I find a lot of people say to me, oh, did I donate to you? I can't remember. So what I've done is, I've already sent it out, but I will go through periodically, like I would say every couple of weeks, and I will go into my my page, and I will resend to all my contacts who have not donated. There's like a tool in there. I'm sure everyone knows this, but there's a tool that says you can, you can send it out for people that didn't didn't donate. So I will do that a couple times. I don't want to be obnoxious, but I'll send it out maybe 3 times. So.
Oh, that's a good point, Kim, because we even find with registrations for the walk in general, we start promoting 2-3 months ahead of time, but it's the last month
right.
that we get the most.
That's right. And a lot of times people get the email, they put it in, they keep it in their inbox, they don't do anything with it, and they are happy to get like a gentle reminder. So I would encourage resending. And if you only send to people that haven't donated, then your whole population is not getting it 3 times. They're only getting it if they haven't donated, which is kind of like a gentle, nudge to donate. So that's kind of like a little tip.
Great reminder.
Yeah.
Well, I'll share with something that I do every year is I use the every 9-minute diagnosis. And I challenge, if you will, people to just make a $9 donation to my walk team in honor of the fact that every 9 minutes someone is diagnosed. And I can tell you, there hasn't been a donor yet that only donated $9. So, that's a edible amount of money for someone that can't afford a lot. But most people are happy to send more. So I use it sort of as a teaching tool that, every 9 minutes, this diagnosis is happening, and can you spare $9 to the walk team?
Thank you. Kerry, I know that you had some ideas, right?
Well, I'll echo what was mentioned about not sending it out too early. I sent it out about 3 weeks ago, and we're closing on $2,000 and closing in our $2,500 goal. And I think we'll make that, and I think we'll exceed it. Because I agree that people tend to put stuff aside. They want to do the right thing, but they don't always have the time at that moment. But if there's a shorter time frame they're working in, they'll be more responsive. And I'm going to send out 1 or 2 reminders between now and the walk. And not inundate people, but carefully choose those who haven't donated and focus there.
Carrie, I'd love to hear from you as it relates to, earlier you said that you're looking forward to this walk in person. Can you just speak a little bit about why it's important to you from your perspective?
For me, it's that sense of community that we're all in this together. That we've got our local support group, and that's important. But to have 1,000 people sharing the same challenge and the same rewards that go with it is really important. And I've missed the last 2 years, and I'm thrilled that we're going back to Bowditch, which is a terrific venue. And I just had one question, Bill. Is there going to be free ice cream this year?
That's a good question. We're working on it. We hope to have that answer sometime soon, but if not, I'm sure that we'll substitute with something just as much fun.
I'm sure you will. I just wanted to put in a pitch for ice cream.
Okay. Thank you.
I guess that sums it up. It's really that sense of community, and and I'll tell you one thing I'm sure we'd all echo is Parkinson's is not an easy road to hoe, but I've met some terrific people. I made wonderful friends as a result of the contacts that derive from Parkinson's. So it's not a great alternative, but it's certainly a benefit.
That's great, Carrie. Thank you. Linda, I know that you had your hand up.
Yeah, I had a question when Kim was talking about the emails on donor. Is there some sort of setup on Donor Drive to put in your personal emails?
Yes. And maybe Rosemary would know the exact place, but when I send my emails, I send it out of, you go into like messages, and I've put in emails years ago, and I just use this, I look through them year to year. But I'll say that over the years, I've accumulated enough emails in there that I had to send out 3 different batches because you can only send out a certain number in each email. But it does give you the option to resend the message, and you can choose if you want to send to all contacts, those that have given or those that haven't given.
And this is not Excel. You didn't set something up. This is
No.
on the page on the
That's right.
PDA.
Yep.
Okay.
That's right. Yep, that's right.
I can actually share my screen again if we want to look at it closer. I don't know if people want to see it real quick, but because I'm still logged in. Bill, do you think okay. Let me go ahead and share my screen just really quickly. So this is the messages portal up here.
Okay.
So it's that same top bar, and you can compose messages here, and you can select a type, which kind of auto-populates some stuff in here. And then you can select from contacts. So this is where it tells you this, and it will automatically put in anyone who's ever donated to you.
Okay.
And you can also import contacts from an Excel file or CSV file or from your webmail.
Okay.
Justin,
thank you.
Just to note, when you do look at your contact list, there are some people on in my group that donate, and they send in a paper check. And when that happens, their email address will say, like kim.cream@donor drive. That's not a valid email address. So you do have to go through year after year and just take those out. So just, you don't want those to be counted in your, 100 contacts, because that will cut into the numbers that you could send.
Okay, thank you.
That's a great point. That's a default email that the system creates.
Right. Yep. So I always go in and just delete those first and then look at the email addresses, make sure I have everyone's good email. Yeah,
So you can come up to the North Shore this weekend and help me set this all up? No problem?
absolutely. Rosemary's going to be knitting for us. I can help with the emails. It's a team effort here.
I'll put the
You know.
coffee on. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
No
That's
problem.
That's the role of the honoree, I think.
No problem.
Oh.
No problem. I just go from house to house. Rosemary, get that knitting, get those knitting needles going.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Good. So any other ideas or any other questions?
I'm going to offer Amazon. I'm going to pick 3 $50 Amazon gift cards.
Yeah. Yep. That's great. Cookies certainly work. I've seen that.
Not supposed to be eating cookies.
Yeah. Ice cream will work for Kerry. Yeah.
Isn't that why everybody's walking?
Should be running.
Yeah. And so we really appreciate everybody jumping on today. Again, it was recorded. We'll keep it short. We'll be distributing it to everybody that has either registered to this point or, registers between now and the event. It's inspirational and informational. And so we really appreciate everything that everybody has done.
Yeah, appreciate all of you. It takes a whole community to make this happen.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you,
Nice
Tim.
seeing everyone.
Thank you, everybody.